Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And I got to tell you, it feels great to be back and to say that because that means another episode of some Fuego content is coming your way. And it also feels great to know that you're on the other side of this, listening, getting fired up, going to work, working out, laying down, doing whatever you do when you listen to podcasts. But this episode, let's dig right in because this episode is about why you need a book in 2023. All right. We are entering or we are in a recession technically, and a lot of people around the country, around the United States, are starting to get into this panic mode, are starting to freak out about what's about to happen. And the truth is, and this is my belief, is nobody really knows what's going to happen. We can look at indicators, but I'm not a financial guru, and maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But no matter what, there's people that come and rise above, and there's people that in any market don't get through the noise. And so this episode is really dedicated to how we can rise above and why a book is that way to rise above in 2023. For a lot of people coming out of the pandemic, a lot of the tech layoffs, small businesses have an opportunity right now to make or break yourself. All right. As an owner of a small business, as someone who's building a business, someone who's a CEO of a corporation, whatever your role is, there's a lot that's going on. And this year is going to be a make or break year for a lot of people. And so I want to show you really and help you really understand that a book is the ultimate way to skip the line and play with the big dogs, right? Let's get into it. All right. So the first thing that we got to talk about here is a book is the best use of your time. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that I'm always optimizing for performance, always optimizing my habits, building my routines, trying to maximize my time. And if you really, really know me, you know that my goal in life, why I do everything that I do, is to eventually be able to provide for my future wife and future kids. They don't exist yet, okay? But I'm on that path. And for me, that is the biggest goal. Because when I was growing up, I saw my parents find time to be with me and my brother. Both my parents worked, yet both of them were present as often as they could. My dad never missed a sporting event ever in my career, okay? And I want to be able to do that for my kids. So writing a book is the best use of your time because once you do it once, you've done it. Your book exists and you can use it for years to come. Sometimes 5 years, 10 years. And if you write about something that's timeless, this can last decades and decades and decades. The truth is, people use books for years. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The 4-Hour Work Week. These are books that are decades old, a decade or more. They're that old, and yet people still talk about it. People still buy it. People still hire these people to speak because of that book. You do the book once, and then you can use the book, get your time back, and start doing it. So, for example, for me, one of the reasons I love books is because once I've written that book, I have become the expert on that topic. And the more that I write, the more that people will know me as the expert on those books. So I believe that writing a book, especially right now, is one of the best ways that you can use your time because you do the work once and then it will repeatedly produce returns for you year after year after year. The next thing is that having a book is the fastest way to credibility. All right, when you become an author, you are immediately perceived as the expert. You are immediately started to be asked questions about the topic that you just wrote your book about. And when people see that you are credible, they start to trust you more. And when people start to trust you more, especially if they have limited extra disposable income to invest in themselves, they are going to make sure they make the best decision for them, which is going to be who do they trust the most to get them the result they want. All right, I really want us to think about this. If you are in a booming economy and people are getting promotions, people are getting more jobs, people are more flush with cash, people are more likely to spend more. If you are not, and people are starting to really tighten up what they're spending on, then you have to make sure that you eliminate the other choices for them. And the way to do that is by being the most credible source on a particular topic. And if they have your book, if they've spent hours reading your book, they will likely see you as that answer, meaning that the money they do have to continue to invest in themselves has the chance to go with you. All right. A book, next up is a book can immediately add more to your bottom line. So straight off the bat, book sales can immediately add to your bottom line. Okay, so for example, you write a book, you sell it for $20, you get $10 in royalties. This is just an example. You sell 100 books, that's $1,000. You sell 200 books, that's $2,000. Okay, that can happen right away. It's a cash injection immediately if you can get those book sales. The second thing that you can do for immediately adding more revenue is if you already do speaking, you can increase the amount of money that you make per speaking gig. Let me explain. Let's say your fee is $2,500. You write a book, your fee is now $3,000. That's an extra $500. You've just increased your fee at a great rate and you can get paid more. Okay. Let's say you're doing a lot of free gigs, but now you have a book. Well, guess what? You can sell your book at the end of that. Okay. Now let me give you an example. Whether you have gotten a free gig or a paid gig, if you can sell your book after, and let's say there is 1,000 attendees there. Okay. 1,000 attendees at this conference, you're doing a keynote, you're fired up about it. And after you go and you have a booth, in your booth, you're selling your book there for $15. Let's say just 10% of those 1,000 people liked your keynote and want your book. That's 100 people that buy your $15 book. That's $1,500. So whether you spoke for free or you had a keynote, you just brought in an additional $1,500 because you had a book. All right, so having a book immediately adds revenue. Immediately. The minute you have a book, you now have a product to sell. Let's keep going here. And I want you to think about this as you're doing this, like what aspect of your business would benefit the most? And then where do you see other ancillary opportunities to leverage this book as part of your long-term strategy? All right. So next up, it is great for customer service. People love to get gifts. Okay. I was reading a book the other day and they were talking about how direct mail, when people receive packages, the open rates on those are almost 100%. Okay. As long as it doesn't look like a trashy mail thing that nobody wants, people are going to open it. All right. The bigger the package, the more excited people get, the more perceived value they think it is. So when you send a book, people get excited. All right. And so you can create a really great customer experience with somebody where you're gifting them your book and they are getting fired up to work with you. What I find is that when we give books to our clients, what happens is they get really excited. They start off with a sense of gratitude. They show up more ready to work. But here's what's even cooler is they post that they got the book, giving us free promotion before we've even gotten them the result they're actually looking for. Brilliant. A book is a great way for customer service. All right, let's keep going here. A book is your content ideas. All right, we've done podcasts recently about how to create different content ideas from this, but your book is your content plan. Stop spending time trying to create a bunch of content ideas. Write your book, do it once, and then use your book to create hundreds of pieces of content. Not only that, but that content will be directly related to your book. And that book is directly related to your business. So by the transitive property, by doing content, you will be producing revenue for your business because the topics are the same. All right. You see how powerful this could be? Next up is it's the keynote. It's the keynote that you haven't had time to develop. Your book is the keynote. It's the workshop. All right. We just had a client who was doing a bunch of speaking gigs, but every time he would get a speaking gig, he'd be like, well, what do you want me to do? Now he was kind of just getting his feet wet and trying out, but he would always try to please the other person. The minute he had his book, all right, and this is really, really, really amazing. The minute he had his book, he now knew exactly what his keynote and his workshops were about. He didn't have to create a new presentation every single speaking gig. He was confident in what he was offering. People saw the value in it. People started to see it. They knew a book was attached to it. He started getting paid more and he started speaking more. He was more confident in his keynote. All right, this is game changing. Instead of having to spend 2 to 5 hours creating a new PowerPoint every time, he now has one core talk that he can perfect, that he can continue to get better and better and better at and continue to be known for that, and then sell books on the back end of it. All right, he literally got a 300 book bulk deal because of this approach, okay? Next up, Your book is the coaching program you've been wanting to scale. I had someone the other day and she came to me and said, Jake, I need to write this book. I said, why do you need to write this book? And she goes, because I am convinced that once I have this book, I can scale my coaching program. I can sell more courses. And I'm like, you're entirely correct. We had somebody, they came to our program, they wrote a book, they created a group program named after their book. And in the first week, they brought in $2,000 cash injection. How nice would it be to write a book, open a coaching program, and fill $2,000 weekly on that coaching program, right? This is what it's all about, is you can scale it, you can build it, but your book is this. This is why you need a book in 2023. Stop trying to do all these other strategies. Focus on the book, get it done, and then after, you have the vehicle to unlimited opportunities. All right, next up, we got a couple more here to get through, all right? So a book, it is a product that you can actually direct people to instead of having to do pick your brain calls. All right, I know people that get hit up all the time. Hey, do you have 15 minutes to chat? Hey, do you have 15 minutes to chat? People get hit up with DMs all the time, especially some people that have larger audiences. When you have a larger audience, you're constantly answering these questions. And while I'm always going to be a proponent of engaging with your community, well, imagine if you can answer the question and say, hey, by the way, I answered this and a ton of other questions in my book. Here's the link. And if you want to get really fancy, you can actually give them a copy of your book as a way to build that goodwill and that trust and that initial relatability and likability factor. So a book is a product. People have questions, you direct them there. You make money, you give it away. Whatever strategy you want to deploy there, entirely up to you. But the point that I'm trying to make on this one is that you don't have to answer questions every single day, all day long. You can answer one question and then direct them to the book. Now you're building a relationship and you're giving them something for free, or you're giving them a direction, which is what they ultimately want. People that have questions want answers. If you can answer one answer with a better answer, that's even better. All right. Next up is a book is a path to more confidence. What we have found from every single one of our clients is that the minute they release their book, the minute that they finish their book, they have more confidence. Not saying that they weren't confident beforehand, but they have more confidence. And this is still true to me after writing 4 books. When I released my most recent book, Big Idea to Bestseller, I immediately had more confidence about what it is that I did because now I had the book on it. And for a lot of our clients, when they're writing their book or they're getting ready to write a book, they have this imposter syndrome. They have this imposter syndrome that kind of gets them to say, who am I to write this book? But once they finish the book, now they start to feel confident in what they do. They start to believe that they are actually really the expert because now they have the book to prove it. It's like a book gives you permission to believe in yourself at a level you didn't even know you could believe in yourself at. But here's where I see it really translating to results. Confidence is great, but here's how it actually makes a difference. Confidence leads to speaking with conviction. When you're more confident, you will speak with more conviction. When people are trying to make a purchasing decision, especially in today's times, people need to know that you believe what it is that you can help them achieve, okay? Because they're looking for an answer and they don't want to go to someone who's like, I could probably help you. They want to go to the person who is the authority, who has the book on it, who says, yes, I can help you get this result. And here's the proof, right? So confidence leads to conviction. That conviction leads to an increase of conversions. By writing a book, you now have more sales just because you did the dang thing. All right, we got a couple more here. Let's fire it up. I got 3 more for you, all right? I'm going to give you a little secret here, all right? This is a little fun one. Having a book is an easy way to start getting 99-cent leads. I haven't seen any other strategy, and I've tried ads, I've tried different types of ads, and I have ads that are very profitable currently, right now. But I have not yet seen a strategy that gets me 99-cent leads while also getting my book in people's hands. And so here's a little secret of how you can do this. I have my Kindle book, and you can go look on Amazon, Big Idea to Bestseller on Amazon. It's the ebook, the Kindle version. It's 99 cents. When people reach out to me or when people follow me or when I reach out to people, I'm connecting with them. And I'm finding out if they're interested in writing a book or not. Most people come to me, hey, kind of how does this work? Or they follow me and I say, hey, did you come for the big energy or did you come for the book content? And I just start getting in real human to human conversations. But what I notice is that if they're interested in writing a book, I'll say, hey, I'd love to gift you my brand new best-selling book, Big Idea to Bestseller. I think you'd absolutely love it, especially the part on XYZ, whatever the part is that they're struggling with. And they go, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I said, well, what's your email? And I'll send it to you. So they give me their email, and then I buy my own book for them. You can buy it for others on Amazon for 99 cents, and I give them a copy of my book so they can read it on their Kindle, on their Amazon, wherever it is, on their tablet, on their phone. And so I'm getting leads for 99 cents. And now I have a way to communicate with them more frequently. And this is amazing. Okay? Amazing. And better yet is not only are these people opting in for a download that they're never going to look at, these people are getting a full-length book directly sent to them by Amazon, and they are able to open that and read that book and spend time with me, and there's tons of resources in the book. So now it's a 99-cent lead that is also incredibly qualified and has a really high chance of opening and looking through the thing that they just opted in for. All right? A book is one of the best ways to get a TED Talk. All right, and I'll give you 2 examples here. We had a client, she came to us, she wanted to do more speaking engagements, and she wrote her book. First week, she signs a high-ticket client. And then she's like, I want to do a TED Talk. So she goes out, she pitches herself. Because she has a book, guess what? She landed a TED Talk. Amazing, right? That's so cool. I want to tell you the flip side of this. I had someone come to me the other day, and they're like, I need to write a book. I said, what's going on? I want to know a little bit more about your situation. Why do you feel that you want to write a book? He goes, because I went to give a TED Talk. I wanted to give a TED Talk, and I went and I submitted the application. I was in the interview process, and they said, okay, well, what book do you have? Or what are you going to be selling after? What book? I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like, what book do you have? And he goes, I don't have a book. And they said, okay, well, this probably isn't the right fit for us right now. And he didn't get the TED Talk. And so what I realized in that very moment, and this is just a very, very concrete, no book, no TED Talk, book, TED Talk. That's obvious, right? Do the work once and you get it. And then the last thing here is this. Having a book is a surefire way to share your message, tell your story, and create an impact. And at the end of the day, if you're listening to this podcast, you give a shit about people, okay? And if you're able to write a book, you're able to share your message. You're able to share your story. You're able to go through a healing process, a therapeutic process of writing this book, of sharing your story, of building the courage, being vulnerable throughout this, and sharing your expertise. And damn it, that is powerful stuff. And you can create a massive, massive impact by writing a book. All right, so those are some of the reasons why we need to write a book in 2023. I want you to get your time back. And I believe that having a book is one of the best ways that you can open the door to the life that you've always wanted to. All right. If you look at it, there's a reason why every thought leader has multiple books. There's a reason why people start with books in their business. There's a reason why people that are at the highest levels of entrepreneurship, the highest levels of CEOs have books. And so that's what I really wanted to share with you today is why you need a book in 2023. I think competition is more fierce than ever before. And I think if you want to stand out from that competition and you want to do it quickly, there's no better resource to do it than from a book. You can do it in other ways. But I believe that right now, in the times that we're entering, I believe that one of the fastest ways to separate yourself is by having a book, because immediately, the moment you have that book, you are seen differently. And being seen differently creates opportunity, and you have the power to unlock that opportunity, but you have to start. You have to take the first step. You have to make a book a priority. You have to make a book commitment a decision. And if you do that, you will be able to have a book done quicker than you ever thought possible. And if you need some help going through this process, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to answer any questions, love to support you. And if we're a good fit, I'd love to work with you. But that's what I got for you today. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your week. And I hope that I'll be seeing your name at the top of the bestseller charts. See you soon.